Next thing we're going to talk about is what to start doing for Christmas promotions for the Christmas shopping season. Honestly, I feel like we're getting started on this a little late, but I haven't seen any other channel even start talking about this yet. So, um, the Christmas shopping season, as everyone knows, is a fantastic time to boost book sales because books are great gifts. They're cheap and you feel good about yourself because you're giving them something that's going to make them smarter. Right? If you give a kid a book, you're like, I've contributed to this kid's mental development. Okay? Right? Because everyone wants to feel good about the gifts that they give, which is why my grandparents keep sending me socks. To me, don't send me socks. All right. December is often a slow month for web traffic, though. So reminding people that books are great presents is kind of important. So as you guys are doing your newsletters and you guys are planning on your how you're going to interact with customers over the season to take advantage of it, keep this kind of stuff in mind. You want to try to plan your promotion in 3 phases. You've got your preparation phase, which started in October. Get everything in order. Okay. Get your draft blog posts together because you do not want to try to write anything on top of writing other things when you are in the middle of cooking a turkey. Gather your gift ideas, write your emails, automate as much of this as possible so you can enjoy the holidays. Seriously, write this stuff before and schedule it out. Promotion phase, which will be Black Friday. This is one of the biggest days in the whole year. There's entire companies that base their entire profit margin on this day. So you need to be preparing for this kind of thing. So
that said, Black Friday is tricky for authors because it's hard for an author to give an 80% discount on something and for there to be any money left over. So for an author, Black Friday is more, for most authors anyway, it's more at the beginning of the Christmas holiday promotion window than it is an actual time to do big discounts. Because you giving a $1 off your ebook is like a 20%. It feels like a lot to you. But in the world of Black Friday deals, that's not very appealing.
That's not much. I want a 72-inch screen flat screen for $18.
Right. And indie publishing, for anyone, makes a good point that advertising in December is very expensive because you're not just bidding against all the other authors who are increasing their spends, but you're also bidding against all of the other consumer products companies that are also increasing their spends. And actually, a really good time to advertise is in January because prices are really low, particularly on YouTube, but really everywhere. And a lot of people have a New Year's resolution to do more reading. And so January is actually a magical time to promote your book. So we're about to share a whole bunch of marketing strategies with you on how to get more Christmas sales. But I want to, before we do that, give you all permission to ignore all of this and just spend Christmas with your family. And instead do your big push in January and go after the New Year's resolution buyers, particularly if you write nonfiction, but even if you write fiction, because sometimes people's New Year's resolution is to just read more, period. And it's not about, reading a diet book or a get out of debt book. Dave Ramsey's 2 biggest months are January for the New Year's resolution and September, which is the other New Year's resolution. So there's the school year, which starts in September, and then there's the calendar year, which starts in January. And so for nonfiction, those are the 2 big months. But books do make great gifts, which actually is our first principle here. So books wrap really well, they ship really well, and if you do a good job as a gift giver, they're a really thoughtful gift. So the key to giving a book is that you have to give somebody a book that they actually like. I had one friend who gave me, I think it was Starship Troopers was the first book he gave me, which totally changed my life. It was the first, this was in high school. And I've read that book many, many times. And then he gave me some other book. And like at one point, he just handed me this like torn up book that he had obviously read, and it was a gift. And I was like, I'm going to read it. I didn't think it looked very interesting, but every one of his gifts / recommendations to me up to that point had been smash hits. And so I was like, okay, I'll give this a read. And I totally ended up buying all of the rest of the stupid books in that stupid series because it ended up being a book that I very much enjoyed. So books can make great gifts.
There's something else you can do with that, which is something me and a friend did. We both read the same book, but we took notes in the margins, and then we sent each other the book with our notes in the margins, so that when we did a reread, we could see what each other was thinking or experiencing as they were going through the book. And it was a really nice way to share the book with each other. So that's something you could suggest to your audience too.
Another thing I'd recommend is make your blog / social media / email newsletter seasonal. So shift into Christmas mode in your all of your communications, or just take a break. And I will say, I take a break in December. So I'm planning to take the last 2 weeks in December off. Jonathan, if you want to do this show by yourself, you can.
There are no breaks.
I will say there's not a lot of publishing news in the last 2 weeks of December. In fact, a lot of the pub boards don't even meet. Back when I was the literary agent, the agency was like, don't send any manuscripts after. We had some like drop dead date. It's like, don't send any manuscripts after this date, because none of the pub boards are meeting, you'll just be in a big slush pile that's even bigger than normal. And there's something to be said about taking a break when everyone else takes a break, because then you are able to relax a little bit more, as opposed to taking a break when everyone else is emailing you. Yeah, sleep when the baby sleeps.
When the baby folds laundry.
Yeah, to teach us how to get the babies to fold laundry. We haven't quite mastered that yet. So the 3 phases, real quick, somebody's asking. The 3rd phase is the Echo phase, which starts December 26th. It's when people tend to be very rich in gift cards. And you can spend Amazon gift cards on ebooks. You can spend Apple iTunes gift cards on audiobooks. And there's actually a big flurry of purchases. There used to be a big surge in purchases, as a lot of people would get their very first iPad or their very first Kindle and start filling it up. I feel like most everyone who has a Kindle already has a Kindle. There's not a lot of new people to the platform. There's some, but there is a big flurry of purchasing of media, and books are a form of media that gets purchased a lot during that last week of December, but really ramping into the first week of January. So this Echo phase is the first week of January, and then into New Year's resolution season, which is the first 2 or 3 weeks of January.
And going along with that, put together a Christmas gift guide, okay? But don't just put your books on it, have your books on it, and then put similar recommended books there, like especially if you have author friends that say you've met on authormedia.social or something. So there's a cross promo opportunity there. Other things that your target readers might enjoy. So if I have Marines who are reading Semper Di or something like that, I'll be like, and here's a couple cool knives that were released, Read your book with your knife.
And this is an opportunity to add additional revenue through affiliate links.
Yeah.
So you recommend some cool knives or some cool candles or whatever your target reader is into. And if you're linking to those on Amazon, for instance, and you're a part of the Amazon Associates program, or you're an affiliate for Amazon, if they buy those knives from your link, you can get between 2 and 10% of the commission. Usually it's around 3 or 4%, but for certain products like a Kindle, it can be as high as 10%. Sometimes there's an additional bounty that they'll put on around Black Friday. And so selling Kindles as a purchase and pushing the Kindle to your list could actually bring in a lot of additional affiliate revenue, because Amazon gives a really good bounty for the Kindle. But there are other affiliate programs for other stores. You don't have to go all in on Amazon. I have an entire episode on affiliate marketing that explains how to do it both as an affiliate and as somebody who offers affiliates, that you can listen to at authormedia.com. A lot of people last episode were like, where are all these episodes that you're talking about? The YouTube show is new, but the Novel Marketing Podcast is the longest running book marketing podcast in the world. And we have 400, almost 500 episodes, all at authormedia.com. And all of the episodes have blog versions. And so you can listen to them, you can read them. But we don't have video versions of all but the most recent year or two's worth.
Also, think about gift bundles, okay? Buy one, get one free. Buy one, give one. Buy one of these. Buy this copy of In Darkness Cast, and you'll get a second copy of In Darkness Cast to gift to someone else. So if you only have one book, it still works for you, okay? Just think about doing that kind of thing to improve traffic and interest. A lot of people right now are very budget conscious when they're shopping. So the better deal you can give them, the more it's likely you're going to get their few dollars in the first place. Build your email list with a Christmas gift. Okay, think about offering a free Christmas short story. I wrote a Christmas short story for Shades of Black. Okay, I figured out how to do Christmas with Shades of Black. You can figure it out. Okay, I don't even want to hear it.
And for those of you who aren't familiar with his book, it takes place in a fictional world that doesn't have Christmas.
And I did a Christmas story.
I first learned this technique from a traditionally published author 10 or 15 years ago. And she was talking about how she grew her email list from 1,000 subscribers to like 5,000 or 6,000 subscribers by writing a Christmas short story with 2 of the romantically interested characters from her first book. So in between book 1 and book 2, which in book 2 wasn't out yet, she had this Christmas short story, and it just set her readership on fire. And she just gave it away for free. The term reader magnet hadn't been invented back then. That's how old the story is. But the tactic still works, particularly if you give a Christmas theme to it. The very best version of this, a short story that might have made me cry, was the Dresden Files. Jonathan, have you read the Dresden Files?
No.
So in the Dresden Files, Jim Butcher writes a special short story. It's a Christmas short story, and it's all about Harry Dresden building a bicycle for his daughter, and he's visited by 3 spirits. So it's kind of a riff off of A Christmas Carol. But the Dresden Files are a world full of spirits and fae and all kinds of supernatural beings, and so the visitors are very interesting. I'm not going to spoil it. It's a masterpiece, and Butcher just gives it away for free. He didn't even make it a reader magnet. And I thought that was very generous and very much in keeping with the spirit of Christmas. So don't feel like you have to make it a reader magnet. You could just make it a page on your website.
I have 2 people or 2 things that people are asking about. First of all, this is not a hat. Okay, this is a cover. All right, the Army wears hats. So it's called a boonie cover. Okay. Also, people are asking, how did you do a fantasy Christmas? Honestly, I just took the concepts.
No, don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Why?
Post the link where they can download it and get on your email newsletter.
Yet. I just ran a Kickstarter for it. Basically, what I did is I just took the idea of the stars. The story is called Ember Night, okay? And it does a couple of parallels there. And basically the idea that the stars shone brighter on the night that God came to Earth to redeem humanity from the darkness. And the idea that there would be these universal stories laid out in the scriptures. Well, if they were in fantasy worlds, they wouldn't happen necessarily the same way, but they would have the same parallels. And so that's what I did. I just kind of pulled back from the story a little bit, added new cultural overlays over it, but kept the same basic idea, which is that winter is the darkest time of the year, which is why we celebrate that time in giving each other gifts and celebrating light. And then the story itself follows Shades of Black in that Gideon is a hero who must throw himself into the enemy over and over and over and over again. And every time he dies, his dark mentor raises him back. So he becomes the Ember Knight because he is the only one still on fire out there in the snow fighting all these, monsters. And so it's got a lot of great parallels in it. And the readers that have read it so far have really liked it. I didn't know how a Shades of Black Christmas was going to go. Trust me.
And I will say probably half of all Christmas stories are a retelling of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. So The Grinch That Stole Christmas follows A Christmas Carol beat for beat in terms of the transformation that the Grinch goes through the story. So obviously he's not visited by 3 ghosts. He is the ghost that's doing the visiting. So there's play with it, which you can do to adapt it to your world, which is actually exactly what The Grinch Who Stole Christmas was. Dr. Seuss already had Who's, right? Horton hears a Who and he's saving Whoville. I'm pretty sure all of those predated. He was just like, oh yeah, I'll do a Christmas story. I'll take some characters I already have. I'll take Scrooge and I will tweak it and I'll call him the Grinch. And suddenly that's one of his most popular ever. And so you may find that your Christmas story could outsell your core stories. The strategy 6 is Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. We've already talked about this a little bit. This is a tactic that works better if you're selling directly. And my advice would be to bundle a lot of things together, a lot of digital products together to inflate that list price. So let's say you have a trilogy You take the trilogy and you bundle together the physical books, you throw in the ebooks, and you throw in the audiobooks. So if somebody had bought all of those things together, full price, it's worth $70, but you're selling the trilogy together for $30, and it's, whatever that is, 60% off. That suddenly is very appealing, and $30 is actually enough meat on the bones where that could be a profitable sell for you.
Right.
Obviously, my episode on Shopify earlier this week is doing very well, and the principle there of start with, if you don't have a business plan, you're not ready to sell direct, you're not ready for Shopify, is still true here. So don't just put together a bundle, put together a business plan first, because you can lose money on a $30 product if you don't know what you're doing. And also feel free to not do a Black Friday deal. And another option is to feature other kinds of Black Friday deals for your audience. This is what I do. I do a combination. So we historically have done a big Black Friday giveaway for Obscure No More, which is our biggest course. And the last 2 years, the only time it's been discounted all year long is for Black Friday. And I'm not spoiling anything, but it very well may be going for sale for Black Friday. But I do a big roundup of other Black Friday deals for authors, often from my competitors, some of whom I'm affiliates with, some whom I'm not. And I'm planning on Black Friday, since this show is on Friday, our Black Friday episode is going to feature a lot of those deals. We'll talk about, Pro Writing Aid often has a deal, so we'll talk about the pros and cons. So we'll kind of go through a lot of the Black Friday deals for authors, and we'll do little mini reviews, because sometimes it's not a recommendation. It's a, hey, this is an option. It works for these people and not for these other people. And here's a special link where you can get it for
tactically relevant information.
Right. Another way that you could do this is if you sell direct and a whole bunch of your friends don't, who write in your same genre, whoever does have the store can make the bundle where it's 7 different authors' ebooks. So let's say each ebook is worth $10, so it's a $70 bundle, but you're selling it for just $15 or $20. So it says that's another way that you can get a Black Friday feeling deal without breaking the bank.
And you would brand it like Pack Your Kindle, you would do it that kind of idea where you want to add value to whatever the customer is getting.
The next strategy is to create a digital product for last minute shoppers. Really, you can just schedule an email to go out December 23rd saying, hey, did you forget to get a gift for somebody? You can buy my ebook, and Amazon will mail it to them right away. So
full price.
Yeah. Don't give them a discount. This isn't a discount for play, but you're just reminding them something that they already know. But the fact that you reminded them, maybe like, oh yeah, this would be a perfect gift for so and so. Another option is to partner with a charity, perhaps giving a free digital copy of your book away to everyone who donates. So these are the sorts of things you can only do if you're indie. But like, hey, everyone who donates to my favorite local charity gets a free copy of the first book in my series. Right? This is a really great way to do perma-free. It's not really perma-free, but it's a great way to support the charity, raise some money for charity, but it's also a great way to get your book in front of strangers. Another thing that you can do is put together a Christmas themed scavenger hunt. I don't have a lot of experience with scavenger hunts. Some authors have really great results with them. It's actually something I could create a patron tool that could help you brainstorm a scavenger hunt.
We did scavenger hunts at conventions. So if you have authors who are all going to be at the same convention, we would create a scavenger hunt that would go through all of our booths. And so we got a lot of traffic just from people who were trying to complete the scavenger hunt through the booth. And you need convention support for that. Sometimes they'll put it on their app or something like that to where it can log it. They get all their clues and then they get entered into the raffle for whatever giveaway it is at the end of it or whatever. But it's a great technique for generating traffic that will come to your booth or to your website. In this case, you could put together a digital scavenger hunt. You just had to get people interested in it.
I have put together a scavenger hunt planner tool idea on my Epic Patron Toolbox idea list, which is not getting shorter. I keep making tools and I keep having ideas, or people keep giving me ideas. And so the toolbox is getting out of hand. There are 2 of them. It's getting out of hand. All right. So this is an idea that's from, I have an episode on Christmas marketing ideas. And one of the ideas that I had in this episode has now gotten a lot easier. And that is write a 'Twas a Night Before Christmas poem for your book. So you remix that poem in your story world with your characters. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas is a public domain book, so this is perfectly legal, as is Christmas Carol. So part of the reason why a new Christmas Carol something comes out every year is that you don't need permission to make your own version of Christmas Carol. So if you want to make a TV show that's a Christmas Carol in space, you don't have to get permission from anybody to do that. And so the same is true with the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And so you can get AI to write you a 'Twas the Night Before Christmas poem, where you can write it yourself. I wouldn't like gate this. I would just maybe it makes for a fun email. Some people write a whole book that's Christmas themed. I feel like as authors get past the 24 books window, almost all of them write a Christmas book, kind of like most bands. After they make a dozen albums, they're like, hey, we should do a Christmas album. I will say there is a risk here. If that band becomes, or if that book becomes your most popular book, or if that album becomes your most
You're locked into Christmas
album, like a lot of people don't know that Mariah Carey does anything but Christmas music. Did you know that she was a real musician before she became a Christmas musician? So keep that in mind. Although I will say most albums don't make it, and most special Christmas books don't make it, but it's a fun thing to do. And it also solves your Christmas giving for a whole year, because every person on your Christmas list, you just give them an autographed copy of your Christmas book, whatever it
and
is.
If you have super fans, like I have people who really like reading what I write, I mean, then they like getting the Exorcism of Frosty the Snowman because they just love the title and they think this is going to be hysterical. So it's just a great thing to always have. And like Thomas is saying, it's a perennial opportunity. It's just every year you have, hey, here's that Christmas story. Oh yeah, I remember that. Let me get that for people. Add some stuff to your cover. Just put a Santa hat on somebody on your cover and promote with that. It's pretty fantastic.
This is actually surprisingly effective. This is an old tactic, but it still works. For the ebook cover, you just put a little bit of decoration on it to just hint, hey, this could be a good Christmas gift.
Even just make it sparkly, like give it the little Christmas stars or something on it. You don't have to do much.
All right. Also, optimize your Amazon description for Christmas search terms. So include phrases like perfect gift for the teen in your life to help capture holiday shoppers. So think about who this would be a good gift for, and add a little bit of language in your Amazon description for that. That you want to do right now, because it takes some time for Amazon descriptions to update. So, and one tactic, it's almost a little late for this, but I want to mention it because it's super powerful, is to cold call companies to get them to bulk order your book to put in their Christmas gift baskets or their holiday gift baskets for their employees. There are some authors who make a lot of money with this tactic. Most authors don't think it's for them because the idea of cold calling, they'd rather be poor.
I'd rather die.
But if you zig where everyone else zags, that's where the opportunities are.
But a little update on that. There are now companies that these HR departments source from. So you actually now have to contact the gift basket company that puts together the gift baskets if you want to get your book included in that, because HR is just ordering baskets.
Or you create your own basket.
Or you can create your own basket.
And you reach out to them directly. You figure out what those companies are charging, you charge less, and you include your book and other things into a basket that's themed. So one option is to experiment with price pulsing around December 26th, which is called Boxing Day in Canada, apparently. So it's gift card day in America. So you might try reducing the price there to try to juice your sales. I don't know if you really need to do that though, because people are feeling very rich because they're not spending their money, they're spending gift card money, and people tend to not treat that the same as their own money. There's a proverb in, I think it's Ecclesiastes actually, that wealth gained quickly is lost quickly, something like that. And it's very true with gift cards. People are not good stewards of their gift card cash.
Yes, always sell full price to a gift card.
Yeah, nearly as much as they are with money that they actually earned with their own sweat and labor. And one more strategy, our final strategy, I know this has been kind of a long segment, is to hand sell at events. So there's a lot of Christmas fairs, Christmas craft fairs, sometimes Christmas parades, sometimes festivals, sometimes like a tree. If you're in a small town, there's going to be something. near us, there's this church that does what they call Main Street Bethlehem in Burnett, Texas, and they have this whole recreation of Bethlehem, and like tens of thousands of people go to this, and they wait in line for hours and hours. And the town, which is this really small town in the middle of nowhere, Texas, has gotten wise to this, and so they host a Christmas shopping fair because they have tens of thousands of people in line. So it's in the town square.
Yeah.
So all of the like antique shops are open until 9 p.m., which antique shops are never open, but they will be if there's thousands of people up front. But there's often like booths and stuff, and so a very easy thing, if you're in the Austin area, you could get a booth at Main Street Bethlehem. And it's Burnett, Texas. I think it's Burnett, Texas is the name of the town. Just do a search for Main Street Bethlehem. You can do your research. But this sort of thing is common all over the country. So, and I will say we have a tool in the toolbox to help you with this. It's called the Event Finder, and it will help you find events where you can promote some of your books. And Christmas events are a totally legit way to do that. So a couple of quick tips, and then we'll move on to the next topic. First off, I want to remind you again, don't let marketing ruin your Christmas. So it's more important that you bake cookies with your kids than it is that you sell a few extra copies of your ebook. And so part of the reason I haven't been harping on this the last few years is that I think that for most authors, the better strategy is to just ignore any sort of extra promotion other than like tune your email newsletter to acknowledge the fact that it's the holiday season. My other advice, and this is my more controversial advice, but this leads into some of the zeitgeist conversation we'll get to later on, is to be specific in your holiday greeting. So the generic happy holidays has become very inauthentic. It's very corporate and it's very insincere.
Yeah.
And it's and it is a coward's greeting. It's what you'd say when you are a coward and you don't want to offend someone, rather than inviting someone into the joy that you feel for whatever holiday it is that you celebrate. So if you celebrate Hanukkah, saying Happy Hanukkah is far more inviting and kind than it is to say Happy Generic Holiday. Or if you celebrate Christmas, just say Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas. This era of happy holidays is very 2019. It's not going to work anymore. And it just has that ring of inauthentic corporate cowardice. And it's not going. And if you are brave and take a stand with whatever it is that your holiday is, it will feel more sincere and feel more real. And so say Christmas. be courageous.
Remember the 90s? Xmas. That was a stupid time.
Yeah. That's one of those interesting things because the X is actually from the Greek symbol for the cross. And so, anyway,
I didn't mean to activate that on you, Thomas.
You hit me right in the tism, Jonathan. You hit me right in the tism.
Oh no, I activated obscure knowledge, Thomas.
Yeah.